today I have an autumn get ready with me for you, and I am really excited about this video because I've actually teamed up with Rimmel, who, as you probably know, are one of my favorite affordable brands. So many of their products are my absolute favorites and things that I reach for on a daily basis, and I'm sure you guys will have seen them in so many of my videos in the past. So for the launch of their new Scandaleyes Reloaded mascara, I have created this autumn makeup look, which is basically full of Rimmel products, completely affordable, really great if you're going back to school or if you're looking for a few more drugstore options for your makeup this season. I really love this. I think it's slightly different than my normal autumn makeup, but one that I think I'm going to be wearing a lot. So if you want to see how I did this, keep on watching. So I've started by using the Rimmel Match Perfection foundation and concealer. I love these two. They are just the best combination for really glowy skin, but with great coverage. This whole range is definitely one of my favourites from the drugstore, so absolutely love those. And then on top of that, I've just set everything down with the Stay Matte powder. I really like this powder as well. It's just very lightweight, but it really does the job of keeping your makeup in place all day. So after that, I've used my Kate Sculpting palette. Again, you guys know this is one of my favourite products. I love the simplicity of this. It has a bronzer, a blusher and a highlighter all in one, and the shades of all three are really beautiful. The bronzer is really warming, the blusher is a really pretty kind of corally pink, and then the highlight is really nice and subtle for an everyday look. So now it's time for eyes, and I'm first gonna just define my brows a little bit. I want quite big, bushy, dark brows. I think for autumn, big brows are just a must. And I have the little Brow This Way palette from Rimmel. I really like using a powder product when I want to make my brows look a bit thicker and fuller than they actually are. I think powder just kind of beefs them up a little bit and adds a nice bit of volume. It also really helps to keep the shape and the whole look of the brow a little bit more natural when you're using a powder, because defining things with a pencil can sometimes look a little bit harsh, so I prefer to use powder if I'm really going to make my brows look big and full. And then once I have sculpted my brows out, I'm just going to set those in place with the Brow This Way clear brow gel. I really enjoy using a clear brow gel. I think it really kind of polishes off the finished look and it sets everything in place without having to use any extra colour or any more pigment. So I've been preferring to use a clear brow gel recently. I'm going to use something slightly different than my normal kind of go-to warm brown shades. I do love a neutral eye, especially in autumn, but I really want to use something a bit different. And this Magnif'eyes palette from Rimmel is so beautiful. It's kind of somewhere along the lines of neutral, but it's a bit more cool toned. It has the most beautiful coppery kind of rose goldy shade, which I just want to put all over my eyes. So I'm going to base this look around that. And I also really want to use this purple here. I love an aubergine purple colour in autumn too. So I think this is a nice alternative if you don't like the really warm tone eyeshadows that you see a lot in this season. So I'm going to start by using one of the more matte lighter shades just to define my crease a little bit. I find this gives me a lot more definition and it kind of just opens my eyes up a lot better. So this is a step that I never skip out on. So then I'm going to put that beautiful, really kind of taupey but super shimmery shadow all over my lid. This is so gorgeous. And it definitely runs a little bit more cool toned and more purple on me, but I really like that. These shadows are so pigmented, and especially the shimmery ones, they are just really beautifully shimmery. They're not sparkly, but they just have this lovely metallic-y sheen to them, which is really sheeny and really glossy. I really like this. I'm going to do the exact same thing underneath my eyes. I'm going to take those same shades underneath in the same place, just under on my bottom lashes. And then I'm going to use one of my favourite tricks when it comes to making the most out of eyeshadow palettes and go in with the same brush I was using for my brows. This is a really great little angled brush, and actually use one of these as a liner. So I think it's going to have to be this purple. It's just so gorgeous. And by switching up to an angled liner brush, you really can create a nice kind of winged out, very precise liner. But because it's a shadow, it's going to look a lot softer and a lot more subtle than using a liquid liner, but still really pretty and very defining. I think this purple is going to be the perfect shade for this as well, so I'm just going to wing it out slightly. I don't want it to be a massive wing, but by using this brush, it just makes it so simple to create that little bit of a wing, but with a shadow instead of a liner. So of course no look is complete without mascara, and this is where my Scandaleyes Reloaded comes into play. And this is such a thickening mascara, super voluminous, and you get a really thickened full look with this, and I love the wand too. It's a really chunky wand, and I think when you're going for a really extreme mascara look, when you just want to have loads and loads of product on your lashes, having a nice thick wand is definitely the key for that. The fact that it's slightly tapered as well is really great because it lets you get right into the inner corners of your lashes, so it picks up every single little lash. So all that's left is a slick of lipstick and I am ready to go, and I'm using quite a nude lipstick for this look. I really want the eyes to kind of stand out. And that is it. That is my finished autumn look. I think I'm going to be really preferring the cool toned shades in autumn this year, which is really strange for me. I'm usually all about the warm, but I'm loving this eyeshadow combination. I think it is so, so beautiful. So that is it. Thank you so much for getting ready with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. That is it for me today, and I will see you all soon. Bye.